Hey guys, it's Coach Evans here. Welcome to another video. Now, today I want to talk about something that affects at least 90% of the guys who are sexually active out there, but most of us don't really want to talk about it. If you've been sexually active for a while, this has probably happened to you before, or you know somebody has happened to in the past. The main reason why I'm making this video today is because I was having a conversation with a friend who was going through the same thing where he found himself, he could not get hard when he was trying to get intimate with this girl. And it's not like he doesn't like the girl. It's just that it was just not working for him at that particular time. And he reached out to me, given the fact that there was a point in my life where I was going through the same thing, and he was just reaching out to me to be like, hey, you went through the same thing. How did you overcome this? In this video, I'm going to go about some of the reasons and how you can actually get over this hump. Number one is medical reasons. There's some guys who have got a poor circulatory system, and it's hard for them to get that circulation going on down there while they're trying to get active. With that one, you'll have to see a doctor, and maybe they'll prescribe you something and see how you're going to go about that. But with most of us, it's mainly in our heads. Now, this is all and absolutely pure psychological. It's one of those things where something might have happened in the past. Now, in my experience, I'll say it's first time I experienced this where I could not get hard around a woman. I had just gotten out of a relationship. It was 1 week after having moved out from where I was living with my ex. And I was in the house alone, and I was like, hey, you know what? Let me just try to go and try and see if I can hit up a girl, let her come over and maybe have fun. And I personally was not ready for that. Emotionally, I was not there. And when this girl came over, she was a beautiful, gorgeous girl. And we were all trying to get intimate, and the big guy down there was like, nope, not today. It's not happening. Now, to me, it was all about I still had emotions from my past relationships. I was still trying to get over it, trying to get over that hump of like, hey, I'm now living by myself, and it was hard for me to be present with that girl there and then. And that particular thought carried over to the other girls that I actually wanted to get intimate with after her. So it was more for every time I tried to get intimate with a girl, the thought will come up in my head where, am I really going to get hard for this one? Or is it going to be the same episode of what happened prior to this? And as long as you tell yourself that, guess what's going to happen? You're going to sort of force yourself to get hard. It's going to be more of a, I want to prove my manhood. I want to prove my worth to her through sexual activities. And the more you try that, the more you try to stroke your ego and be purpose-driven when you're trying to have sex with a woman, the more it's going to backfire on you. It happened to me a few times before I learned. That really fucked me up psychologically, where I'm a very expressive person and some of my expression is sexually. So not being able to get hard around a woman, that was like, this can't be happening. Something has to be done. There's also another woman that she was drop dead gorgeous. She was beautiful, and I just could not get hard around her. The main reason why that was happening is because she's a very driven kind of girl. She's very alpha, got a really nice job, she's got a life that she loves and all that. But the one thing that she didn't know how to do is switch that from actually being alpha and so masculine and to being loving, feminine, vulnerable, and just being a woman. She could not do that. And that prevented me from being able to connect with her because I'm a masculine guy, and having a girl who's also masculine did not work for us. So if you're experiencing this, or if you've experienced this, how do you get over that hump? Number one that I found that really helped me was meditation. It's one of the things where most people don't really think about or actually don't give it that much credit. But meditation is all about being present. And that's what most of us suck at. We suck at being present and in the moment. We are always trying to think like, hey, I'm going to put it down on her good. We're men. I totally understand that. We are so egotistic. When we're trying to have sex with a girl, we are more like, I'm going to put it down on her good. I'm going to put it down on her proper. And while we are trying to achieve something, we are actually failing at being present. This prevents you from being able to connect with her, not just physically by vagina and dick getting together, because that's what most people think having sex is. No. Having that crazy magical connection is all about you two connecting more than just a physical level. You have to connect spiritually. The connection has to happen from a higher level, which most people don't really get there. So try practicing meditation. That will come in really handy when it comes to you trying to overcome this. And another thing you can do is communicate with her. Don't just go out the first time you're about to have sex and you go, hey, I sometimes can't get hard. Just so you know, it's because of the no. If it's happening or it has happened while you two are trying to get busy, while you two are trying to have sex, let her know like, hey, Sometimes I have things running up in my head where I cannot, my brain doesn't allow me to kind of fully be present and relax and enjoy the moments. It has nothing to do with you, because women sometimes, when this is happening, they tend to blame themselves. Like, why can't he get hurt around me? Why is it that he doesn't get excited? The little man down there doesn't come out to play. So they'll start blaming themselves, thinking they're not good enough. And some women have insecurities. So try to communicate that with her, that it's not them. It's you being in your head too much, and sometimes it doesn't allow you to come out and be present and be there with her and be able to connect well. So communicate that with her, and you find that once you actually say that to her and you take those expectations out the window, it's going to become very easy for you to relax, because you know you don't have anything to worry about, since she already knows that this happens every now and then. So communicate that with her, let her know that to you it does happen every now and then, and it's not about her, so that she will most probably get focused on trying to please you and trying to get you to relax, which again works best for you, and she also doesn't have to blame herself for such things. And the best way to get over that hump of not getting hurt while you're trying to have sex is talk to that girl. Okay? Let her know that we all have different places, we all have different ways where, let's say, we can get touched or we can get stimulated, that it's very hard for us to resist. There are some guys who like when a girl is, let's say, playing with the earlobes or getting the nipples sucked, or even guys like when girls play with their assholes. Again, if that's what you like, that's fine. Just be open with them. Let them know, like, when you do this and that, it turns me on to a point where I can't resist. Now, what happens is that when that particular part is stimulated the way you want it to be stimulated, either through sucking or just caressing or just playing with it, what will happen is that you'll find yourself being fully present, not being able to resist that feeling, because again, it's the same thing that turns you on the most. And while that is happening, you will be in the moment and you will be there and then and enjoying the experience. So communicate that with her, let her know about that. If there's a part that when it gets stimulated you can barely resist, like you lose control, let her know that. Allow yourself to be vulnerable, because she will try to please you the best way possible. And by her doing that, it will help you relax and you'll be able to please her the best way you think you should do it as a man.